What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet, where I come to you every other week to chit-chat with you about all of the crafty things that I've been getting my hands onto. This is episode 94, and I'm filming this on October 1st. It is October. It is spooky season, and no one can deny it. Spooky season has begun. Bring out the black. Bring out the tiaras. Spooky season is here. I am coming to you from a very sunny and yet cool Pacific Northwest. Fall has definitely arrived, and I am here for it. I love fall. I love spooky season. I am here for all of it. If you are new here, as several people are, thank you so much for coming over and seeing what I am all about. If you are returning, you know what to expect. Either way, I hope you enjoy. I hope you see things that you like. And I hope you're doing okay. On that note, let's get into the things. I do have some tea, which some of that we'll get into at the end with the life portions, but I will show you the tea that I am currently drinking. This is Persephone by morellatea.com. It is a sencha green tea, pomegranate, and rose petals. It is in my spooky mug. And again, I wish this were smell-o-vision, because this smells so good. It smells like pomegranate. It is delicious smelling. I have yet to taste it. I'm going just by scent right now, so I hope it lives up to the scent. Let us find out. Oh, that's pleasant. Oh, that is definitely pleasant. It's a green tea, so it's not going to be too powerful. And it isn't too sweet. I was wondering if the pomegranate would make it a little too sweet. It definitely does not, and the rose is not overpowering either. That is just a nice green tea. Oh, this is pleasant. Okay. Divine. Absolutely divine. Now, let's get to the fun parts. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? I obviously am feeling much better. I am all better, in fact. Little tiny bit of chest stuff still going on, but with my lungs, this is not a surprising thing. I am just happy it didn't turn into bronchitis or pneumonia, both of which can happen. It sucks. So, it didn't. I am feeling much better, which means I have done things. I have done many a thing. And while I'm chatting, I'm going to drop things on the floor because, you know, we don't need things. No, obviously not. I do have 2 finishes. Nothing is fully finished, but, well, technically one is fully finished because it's a knit that's been washed and blocked. So I guess I can count that as a fully finish, and the other one's just a finish. So I have one FFO-ish. I haven't trimmed off all the ends. I have finished my Love Note. This is my second Love Note sweater. And I did this one with full sleeves instead of 3/4 length sleeves. And I did it probably, I don't know, a good 2, maybe 3 inches longer than my first. So this one is not half as cropped as my first one. I used Serial Dye Knitter yarns in their fingering weight, which was probably their Cherry Creek sock base in the color Deep Relaxation. And the mohair I held with it was her, I don't remember what the base is called, but the colorway was Avasarala. And so this is it. And I've not yet washed, oh, I've washed and blocked it, but I have yet to weave in all the ends. And this is going to be beautiful. Oh, and it's finally getting cool enough that I might be able to wear it. Delight. But I love it. It's pretty. And yes, there's all my ends just having a blast down there, but I do not trim my ends until after I've washed and blocked it. And I just took this off the blocking mats right before I filmed. It's been dry for a little bit. I just left it on the blocking mats because it was on the guest bed and no one was needing the guest bed, so it just left there. But look, Oh, aren't those colors just divine? You can't see the lace very well unless you're wearing it, but let me put my hand in there. There we go. I used the called for needle, I do believe, and yeah, did the short rows, did all the things, did the lace. Don't remember what size I used, but you know, whatevs. It's delightful and it's really soft, and I cannot wait to be able to wear it. And since it is fall, I'll finally be able to start wearing it soon. So that was my finish. Love Note by Tin Can Knits. Next up is a finish. It's a cross stitch finish, and it is not fully finished. If you are new here, I have a hard time fully finishing things. Everything I finish just goes and lives in a bin. Every once in a while I will finish something, but usually it just goes and lives in a bin. Sad, sad, sad to say. But this was my 100 stitches a day project, and I was right. When I got to the field of white snow, I just powered through and finished it. Otherwise it would still be my 100 stitches a day project, probably for the rest of my life. There was a lot of snow. This is Winter Comes. Apologies about the sunlight lines coming in. I am filming much later in the day than I normally do, so let me lean. There we go. This is Winter Comes. It is by Heartstring Samplery. It is on a 32 count black, I don't know what. And what else can I say? I used all of the called for threads. I did run out of a color. I ran out of the word color, which was also used down here. I think perhaps there was plenty in the kit that I bought. I just might have lost the skein, is what I'm thinking, because I had plenty of everything else. So odds are I had an extra skein and I lost it because I didn't need just a little bit more. I needed quite a bit more. So I'm guessing it was my own fault for the losing. But there we go. Winter comes. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I am so happy. This was a lot of snow. It was a lot of snow. But we got it all done, and now there we go. There we go. So pretty. So, so pretty. I quite enjoy it. I enjoyed working on it. It was lovely. I didn't have any problems working on the black. I do believe it was, yes, it was 2 over 2 as well. And now it can go live in the bin of forgotten finishes. Yoink. That is almost all of my finishes. I have a hoe. What is a hoe, you ask? Well, I am a sock knitter, and a hoe means I have a half finished object, which means I have 1 sock done. It is living in my Feminist Knit Club Resist bag. These are my Sampler September socks. These are the September return socks from Trilogy Yarns that I purchased through Evertote with the whole September sampler kit. I also bought the sock set, and I used the mini to do the toe and the heel. I did a shadow wrap heel. This is just a 34 stitch sock. I probably did 15 rounds for the 2x2 ribbing at the top, and then just however long I felt like to fit my feet. I have started, barely, but I have started the second sock. As you can tell, I'm a girl who doesn't care about having her socks match completely, but I will admit I'm a little annoyed at myself for this one. Can you see why? Yeah. I evidently wound this mini the opposite direction, and so I am going to get my stripes going the opposite direction. Slightly annoys me, not enough to start over. But it is what it is. I do have that much done. I will get this sock done this month in October so that I will have my full pair. And I do like the very autumnal colors that were stitched up for this. They match so well. Ellen Maximum Cross Stitches September's Return sampler that she did, which I have finished. So I finished the sampler. I need to finish the socks. I did it last year. I'm doing it this year. Everything is well. Slight annoyance on my doing it backwards here, but what can you say? I am just using a standard 1.5, US 1.5, which is a 2.5? She doesn't remember. Yeah. And she can't read. I mean, it's on here somewhere. Yes, 2.5 millimeter. This weekend, I went to the eye doctor to get a new prescription for glasses. And yeah, they were needed. I do not have yet any new glasses. They are on order. But the eye exam was done, and oh yeah, my eyes have gotten worse. So I'm gonna blame that on why I couldn't read the needles. But yeah, just doing those magic loop, nice and easy. Standard way I do socks. I tend to like to do a short row heel when I'm doing a stripy sock because then it doesn't disrupt the stripes. Sometimes I don't care though, and I just do a flap and gusset because I like the fit of those better. But sometimes I don't want to disrupt this striping, and it looks so good. Oh, that's a good one. That is a nice green tea. Let us get into all of the other things that I stitched on and knitted, but mostly stitched. I had a hard time concentrating, evidently, on what I was working on. So I decided to work on everything. Well, not everything. That would take more than a week. That would take more than 2 weeks. That would probably take, well, probably all year. However, that is neither here or there. I worked on many things. First up, since I finished Winter Comes, I spun my wheel of smalls to find out what small I would be working on now for my 100 Stitches a Day project. And sorry for the crinkle, it has a very crinkle bag. It pulled out this one, which is Home for Christmas by Plum Street Sampler. I keep calling it Welcome Home because that's what it says, but it's called Home for Christmas. But I'm going to keep calling it Welcome Home. So if I call it Welcome Home instead of Home for Christmas, this is the one that I'm meaning. Sorry. I bought this as a kit years ago from Dying to Stitch, so it is all kitted up for me. There are all of the threads, and then there is a whole skein for the hickory sticks because there's lots of it. And here is where I am. Yeah. I keep pulling out these 100 Stitches a Day projects and realizing I've barely started them. I kept thinking, oh, the 100 Stitches a Day projects, those are going to be smaller ones or ones that are really close to a finish, or both. And I thought it was mostly the both, either smaller and close to a finish or just close to a finish. And no. Evidently it was, I just started throwing things in. And this was one that was just thrown in because there's a lot more to this one than I thought. A lot less done, a lot more to do. But I have my house started. I have the windows all filled in, there's a door, and I am filling in the color of the house, which is this lovely, lovely red. It's going to be so pretty. I keep going back and forth on whether or not I'm going to do both the borders on the top and the bottom, the star quilty-like border on the top and the bottom. I keep thinking maybe I'll just do the top and just have kind of a grounding, like 3 lines grounding the bottom. And then I look at it again and I go, oh no, I want both. And then I go, no, I just want one. And I think I keep saying that because I don't want to do all that stitching because it's fully filled in. I think that's why I keep doing it. I like the whole thing. So I should just suck it up and do the whole thing. Because look, it's so pretty. But that's full coverage down there. Anyhow, right now I think this is the first day that I have this one for my 100 Stitches a Day. Since there's so much fill in on this one, I'm thinking that I am going to do this as a 200 Stitches a Day project. I've done that a couple of times with ones that I feel like I'm way far back on, and I want to actually make some progress and not feel like I'm stuck in a house forever or in fill in forever. So right now, that is what I'm thinking, and that is what I'm likely going to approach this as, is a 200 stitches a day project instead of a 100 stitches a day project. But it is still considered my 100 stitches a day project. You understand, right? But it's lovely. I absolutely love the color of the house. It is such a pretty red. So that is where that one is living. And then I have a couple projects. Oh, there's one. Let me find it. It's in here. The one that's living in here is Plants and Petrichor, and I forgot to talk about it last time I filmed. I was feeling poorly and forgot a few things. No big deal. I have pulled them out for now. And if I've forgotten them, well, I've just, we'll get to them eventually. But living in here is Plants and Petrichor by Fine Frog Stitching, I do believe. Yes. And this is a stitch along that is going along now. Every Friday, a new piece is released. And I am caught up to date on it. Let me pop it on the thing. I am using all of the called for DMCs, and it is on a 32 count Bestitch Me fabric that I got in a, what are those called? Friday Fight Night, but it was unnamed. It's absolutely gorgeous though, so I wish it were named because I'd love to get another piece. And here is where we are. Oh, this is just a, that's just my, it's not moving because it is a very, very well magneted needle minder. So I'll just leave the needle minder there for this time. And there we are. So we have some bottles up here now. I think they might have been there the last time I showed it. We've done some bottles with some plant propagations in them, and then a little stick of incense here. Then we made a pillow over here, and this was the most recent Friday. This was last Friday. And these are some cozy, cozy blankets. So I was incorrect that this was a fireplace here, but it is a seat. So that makes sense as well. You have the seat right next to the window with your mug of tea and your books. So we're all set for reading in the winter. Nice storm outside. And I'm adoring this. It is so fun to work on. They're just tiny little pieces. They're just a couple hundred stitches each release has been so far, other than the setup, the outlines of the windows and the shelves. That's the word you're looking for. And then filling this storm in. But they gave us a lot more time to do both of those pieces before we got into the weekly releases, which is where we are now. And the weekly releases are nice and short. Like I said, just a couple hundred stitches, so they're easy to just get pop them out and stitch them up. And I'm enjoying this a lot. It is so sweet. Loving it. Though I didn't know what this was when I first saw it. I was like, what is that? What is that thing? And then I heard, oh, it's a pillow. Okay, I see it now. It's a pillow. But now we have some nice happy blankets. Cannot wait to see what we come up with next. Obviously, there is still plant to fill in up here. I figure it's probably a plant that's sitting over here and trailing down. I could be wrong. And I have no clue what is going to go on any of these other things, but I think right here, there's a void in our bench right here. So I'm guessing there's a cat. I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to guess there's like a cat sitting right up here and that's its tail. Or there's a cat sitting right here and that's its tail. Because what's better than blankets, pillows, tea, and books, but a cat on your lap while it's storming outside. I am all up to date on that one, which always feels good when you're doing a stitch along and you're up to date. Speaking of stitch alongs, I'm not up to date on the 31 Days of Poe because the first release has come out. Because, have I mentioned, it is the 1st of October. This will go up on the 2nd, but I am filming this on the 1st of October. Have I mentioned? It is the... Right. So the first piece has come out for 31 Days of Poe. I have not yet stitched it, but I will be doing so after my errands later today. And it is sweet, so cannot wait. So, caught up to date on that one. I'm just going to throw things today. We don't care anymore. Things are just going to fly. So that was my Plants and Petrichor. Then, this one. I did watch a whole lot of YouTube while I was not feeling well. And because of that, I was watching YouTubes that I don't always watch, or ones that were new to me. Or, like I said, ones that I don't always watch. And I was watching M. Kissa Creations, and they were talking about all of the long dogs that they have. They have several. But watching all of these lovely long dog samplers being shown gave me an itch to pull mine back out that I started this year. So that is what I did. It only got 1 day, but 1 day is better than 0 days. This is, and I don't have a picture of it, but it lives in here. This is, what's it called? Let me check my notes. Rouge de Saxe, that's what it's called. So it is this one, Rouge de Saxe. And this is the one that I started on leap year this year. And it has only had now 2 days of work. So sad, just 2 days. I am mean to my stitching. I'm still trying to do my 50 starts, so some things are falling by the wayside. One of which was Whipco. But I'm not getting as much time on things. But I did pull this one back out because of M. Kissa Creations. And I extended this border down, and I did the bird on that little thing. I also extended the border this way, I believe. So just a teeny tiny corner, a little bit more done. This is done on a Bestitch Me fabric, but I do not remember which one. Let me see. I think it's like vanilla or sugar cookie or... Yeah. Sugar cream pie. Sugar cream pie by Bestitch Me. Vanilla sugar cookie. It was in there. I was in there. And I am using a couple of variegated silks from Vicki Clayton, and I am doing this one 1/2. It's so lovely. I love it. Not quite so bright red as Rouge de Saxe, but it's in that color family. It's a little rosier than red, a little muddier also than the red. But I'm liking it. And I got a little more work done, which always feels good. I will get this one finished before the next leap year. It's not that big for a long dog. But that does mean I'll need to be pulling it out more than twice in a year. Just saying. Might have to pull it out a couple more times. It is living in a bag by Dot Dot Goose Design. And I can't get it back in. One moment. And my battery's flashing, so I will be right back. I'm back. Why do I not think of checking my battery or often my memory card? I don't know. But I don't. I'm a professional. You'd think I'm not a professional, but you'd think I'd remember. So that was my Rouge de Saxe. I also pulled out my Beatrix, sorry, it's not the Beatrix Potter sampler. It is the companion to the Beatrix Potter Quaker. I need to stretch by needleprint. This one. I framed the Beatrix Potter Quaker this year and decided that I really liked the way it looked and wanted to do the companion, which I've had in my stash for ages. So I've started the companion because I want to get it framed the same way. I'm trying to get a little bit of it done every month. I'm trying to get one, at least right now, I'm trying to get one motif done a month. I am doing this on an unknown 40 count. I think it's a 40 count. Unknown 40 count fabric. It's just a white. This is Weigart, but I don't know what. And I am using Fish Paprika by Vicki Clayton. And there we are. Yeah, I've given up on my board. I just don't care anymore. Done. I think I did both of these or just one of these. I don't know. I did both of these. I did both of those motifs this time. I love working on a Quaker. They are so fun. They just, something very satisfying about doing each motif. This feels so good. And I'm very much enjoying this. Love the colors. And when I get this one finished, I'm hoping to frame it identically in the same frame as the Beatrix Potter Quaker, and I will put it on the wall. I do occasionally finish things. It's just very rare when I have a plan. I have a plan with this one, and I figure I should probably get it done quicker because you never know when frames are going to go out of stock. So I best get working on it. But right now, this year at least, I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting one motif done a month. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving this one. And working with the silks is just delicious. The fish paprika is so pretty. Look at that. Look at the variegation. Ah, so good. And I've had this one in my stash for ages. And that was why, part of why I was doing my 50 starts, was to get some of these older pieces started. Granted, many new ones jumped into whip pile as well, but yeah, some old ones did too. And this being one of them. I also pulled out my Mirabilia this month. I was on the Fancy Lady Zoom call with Stitches New England. Brain, just boop, completely blank. Anyway, I actually joined the Zoom call this month. I keep meaning to, and I often remember like an hour after they close down for the night because I'm on the West Coast and they're all on the East Coast, so I don't always remember in time. But I remembered this time, and so I spent the evening stitching with them, and I finished stitching and backstitching Spring. So this is my Maiden's piece. I've been working on it forever. And I have all of winter stitched and backstitched, spring stitched and backstitched, and now summer. I think I called her spring, but this is summer. Summer is stitched and backstitched, and she was a pain in the patootie because all of that skin is over one, and she's got a lot of skin. A whole lot of skin. She was skin for days. There she is. I have not done any of the beading on any of these, as I will do the beading last. I have done the cry neck, though. There's only one. There's only one cry neck, and that is the gold that is like in the sign here, and then at the corners of the motif, of the borders. She's so pretty. Look at her. Oh, so good. But yes, over one skin. And she has a lot of it. So now I will be moving on to autumn. When next I pick this up. Maybe it'll be this. I doubt it'll be this month because I do believe, oh, who knows? It could be this month. I don't know. I would like to try and get to the next Fancy Zoom. But she's so good. Next one is autumn, and autumn will live over here. Once autumn is all stitched. There we go. Once autumn is all stitched and backstitched, I will come back in, and starting with winter, I will begin my beading. And I will bead them one lady at a time. So there's the 3 of them. Oh, it looks so nice. I'm so very proud of myself. I love it. Stunning, if I do say so myself. This is done with all of the called for threads, and it will be the called for beads as well. I am stitching this on a 28, I think, count sugar maple fabric in the colorway Serendipity. Some days I can barely remember my name, and yet I remembered that. It is just shoved into this bag. It doesn't really fit because I have all of my threads bobbined, and the bobbin thing is in there, and all the working copy is in there. It's just a disaster in here. But it fits well enough that it is contained. The beads are in here too. Where are the beads? There are so many beads. If I can find them, I'm going to pull them out just for fun. if I can. They're stuck down at the bottom because I haven't beaded. There's my beads. And another. Yay! Good. I have another spool of Krynic. I'm running low, and I was like, uh-oh. There's all the beads. Oh, wow. I've had some of these beads for a while. $1.20 for a package of beads. Several of them are $1.20. I don't think you can get Mill Hill beads for $1.20 anymore, can ya? Yeah. All the beads. It's going to be so fun when I get to that point. I cannot wait. Oh, it's looking so good already, and the beads are just going to make it amazing. Though, I still don't know what I'm going to do about Autumn's hand. Autumn has this weird hand thing going on, and I might just leave it because whatever, but she's got some oddness with her hands, is all I'm saying. But don't we all? Don't we all have some oddnesses? I think so. Oh, I know what that is. So that was Maidens. I have one more whip. Told you. Kind of bounced around a little bit more than I normally do. And, oh, I already talked about that one. That was Home for Christmas. Apologies. I've talked about all of my whips. That was all of my whips. Ta-da! I'm feeling quite happy that I've pulled out some older ones and made some more progress on them. Makes me feel good. I think we always feel good when we pull out our older whips. Oh, that's so good. All right. So what have I been working on new start-wise? What have we done? Well, I have one new start in the land of stitching. I have one new start in the land of knitting. Since I've been talking a lot about my stitching, I think I'm going to start talking about my one new start in my knitting. It is living in this lovely bag by Fat Squirrel Fiber. It's my mushroom bag. This is the Hard Cider by Thea Coleman. There we go. I am stitching the 4th or 5th size, I don't remember. I am using my Les Garçons yarn that I picked up at Flock this year. This is their British DK in the color Carmen's Story, and the British DK is made up of 70% BFL wool and 30% Mashon. It is a non-superwash, and it is gorgeous. Look how good that color is. So nice. And there we go. Here we are. So good. Oh, it is so good. It is so, so good. This is 7 inches of 3x3 ribbing. It took me ages. Just forever. Felt forever. And when I wash it, I'm going to try and block it out nice and big so it just kind of sits all nice and fat. This is a raglan style sweater. So I'm just doing raglans for days. That's where we're at right now, is just all the raglan increases down the sides. There we go. And then we will split for the sleeves. We will continue on to the body where there is some detail work of some cabling lacy stuff. It is oversized and boxy. It will also be a bit cropped. I think I'm going to crop it a little bit more than is called for my size, just because I have a very, very short torso. So I figure if I take an inch out of the body, I might be happier. And then some simple sleeves. Oh, I'm loving it though. This, I wish you could touch it. I wish you could. This yarn feels so nice. It is lovely. If you have a chance to knit with this yarn, jump on it. It's so pretty. Ah. And I am doing this on the called for needles because that's where I got gauge. Never happens. They are a US size 6, which is a 4mm needle. So pretty. So I have about 5 more repeats for my raglans, at which point I'm going to try it on to make sure that I should, at my size, excuse me, I should at my size have enough room. I should have gone down long enough that I will be able to split for the sleeves right there. If not, I will stitch a little bit longer in the round before I split for the sleeves. I don't think that'll be necessary. But as I said, as soon as I finish the raglans, I will be trying it on at that point, because I should be just looking at everything at the point where I need to split for the sleeves, at which point I will do that and do my handful of inches before I get to the fun part of the body. Look at that color. Look at that color. It's so good. If you watched my last video, it was a knitting extra. I talked about just how many sweater quantities I have and plans for the sweater quantities, which means I need to do a whole lot more knitting a lot faster. Really. So much knitting I need to do. Anyhow, this is one. I have it on the go, and I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I really want to get to the split for the sleeves. I was going to start a different sweater as soon as I got to the raglan, but this yarn is so pretty to work with. It just feels so nice on the hands that I just kept knitting. Oh well, it's okay. Oh no, I'll knit more on a sweater. Tragic. So that is one of my new starts. My other new start is in the stitching realm again, and this is start number 43, I think, for the year. I'm getting there, people. 43 of my 50 starts. Whew! It's actually getting a little difficult now, because I'm like, I want to start like 5 things this Halloween, and I can't if I want to keep my other ones set up. So, it's getting a little dangerous now. I should have known to keep more options open for my Halloween season, because I always want to stitch more Halloween, and I didn't really give myself room to this year. We'll get into that. Living in my Yama bag. Why is it living in a Yama bag? I think because no one pronounces Yama right, and no one can pronounce Cherchi and Gerchi right either. So, living in my Yama bag, it is a bag from Evertote, is Modern Folk Embroideries, Cherchi and Gerchi. I had to start this September. I got this during Jacobpalooza last year and didn't start it. And so I decided this September it needed to be started. I know there are no stitching police, but the stitching police would have come to arrest me if I hadn't started it. I got this as the kit with the purchase at Jacobpalooza. So everything is in here. It is the Speculoos fabric, and I got a 40 count, and it is all of the Roxy Flossco flosses as well. And it's so pretty. I have not done much in the way of the stitching, but I've done some. So here are my lovely flosses. Aren't they good? They're messy as heck, but they're pretty. And let's find my teeny tiny start. It's going to take a second. There's my start. So I have all of one alphabet, the very first alphabet, and then I've got the A, B, C, D on the second alphabet. And I also have Cherchi's initials. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. Look at those colors. Oh, they're so good. I like ghosty colors like this. I do. I know some people aren't a fan of flosses that ghost, but I am. Well, it depends on the piece. But on a sampler with letters, I'm happy for them to ghost. And that is Cherchi and Gerchi. Started, finally. And she's a big girl. She is a big girl. So she's going to take me a while to stitch. And that's okay. She's started now, so it'll be easier to get back to her. Those are all of my whips and new starts. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh my. So let's get into plans. I have plans. It is October. Have I mentioned? Have I mentioned it's October? I think so. Anyhow, it's October, which means it's spooky month. Which means I am contractually obligated to stitch on spooky things. It's just, I am. It's lovely. So, I don't know exactly what stitchy things I'm going to work on spooky-wise. I have a couple different ones. I have Tonight We Ride. I have I started that one? I don't remember if I've started Away We Ride. I know Tonight We Ride by Autumn Lane Design. I think I have Away We Ride, which is by Blackbird? I think Blackbird. I have a Rook's Design by Owl Forest Embroidery. That is absolutely fun. I have Nevermore by I forget who. Who's Nevermore by? Is it Carriage House? It could be Carriage House. So I have Nevermore by Carriage House, I think. And I have The Collectors by Autumn Lane Design. And those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I have more. But it is spooky season, and therefore more things need to be started. Sadly, I cannot start all of the things that I would like to. I cannot. 1, I don't have time. 2, I don't have time. 3, I don't have time. 4, it would mess up my 50 starts. So let us look at some of the ones that I'm thinking of. The first one, it's a digital pattern, and I am starting this one. I am 1000% starting this one. It is a Carolyn Manning design, and I will put the picture here if I can. Find out if I did. I don't know. Later Lee will know. Currently is clueless. It is An Unkindness of Ravens. Yes, I need to start this one. I will be starting this one this month. 100%. Other ones I want to start. I do want to start Glendon Place's Poltergeist Pirates. Because it amuses me. I like the spooky pirate ship. I kind of wish the skeletons were a little less goofy looking, or at least the one skeleton down here was a little less goofy looking. We'll see what I can do about it. But I have this one, and I am thinking that I'm going to make the ghost sails up here, because these are ghost sails. They are not normal sails. They are ghosty sails because they have ghosty faces on them. And this guy and this guy, I think I'm going to do those 3 in glow-in-the-dark thread so that they glow, because that amuses me. And I might do the shark's teeth in glow-in-the-dark thread because, again, that will amuse me. And if we aren't stitching for our own amusement, why are we stitching? Obviously, we're stitching for our own amusement. But other than that, I'm going to do everything the way it's called for. I bought this a while ago. I have everything. I have the buttons, I have the fabric, I have the threads, I have the whole 9 yards. I've never worked with Sullivan's before, so I hope I don't hate it. But that's what the model was stitched in, and I liked the colors on the fabric, especially the waves down here. I really liked those colors. And the pictures I have seen of people stitching this, I'm blanking on everybody I've watched who's started stitching it. The colors of the brown on the fabric are just good, so good. I really like the colors, and therefore I stuck with the colors that were used in the model because I liked the way they looked. And the people that I'm watching that I know that are working on it are using the Sullivan's. So, so good. I'm gonna. This is on my list. I might start this one. I'm thinking I'm going to, because I've got everything. I've got everything everywhere. But this is one of them. Yes, Sarah A. Sanderson by the Scarlet House, because Sanderson, you have to start it in October. It's a Sanderson sister. Even if it isn't an actual Sanderson sister, it's a Sanderson sister. And I love these houses. Oh, they give me joy. So maybe that one. I mean, this is just autumn and kit. It is everything I love about autumn. There's some, I'm guessing hot cocoa because there's marshmallows. I almost said mushrooms. Do you, but I don't think I'm going to have mushrooms floating in my hot cocoa. Hot cocoa, and we've got some cookies here. We've got a light, we've got books, we've got leaves, we've got a blanket. Like, this is fall. Right here. I love it. So, I'm thinking of starting that one. And yeah, I got, this kind of goes into haul, stash stuff as well, but I did the Pumpkin Creek Primitives Halloween box. And there's a couple projects in here that I also want to start. I don't know if I will. Anyhow, we'll get to those when I get to stash. Also, so those are just things I want to start. That's just wanting to start. I also want to start Drearier Day. Where are you living? I lost it. I lost it. I might have put it in a bag. Oh, bummer. There it is. Found it. Drearier Day. I really want to start this one. And I did get, also in stash, threads for it. So, like I said, I have a lot of things I want to start. And I don't have enough room in my starts to start them all. So I'm not sure what I will start this month. Keep watching. Keep watching so you can find out. So those are my hopeful starts, planned starts, maybe starts, ideas of starts. I will be working on my 31 days of Poe because it's October and Poe is happening. So I will be doing that. I will be keeping up with my plants in petrichor. I will be doing some more work on my hard cider sweater. I also want to start at least one more sweater. It will either be the Broom by Andrea Mowry or it will be the Sanderson sweater by Dragon Horde. There might be a theme here with all of the Halloween-y stuff, but you know, that's fine. And I will be starting my Go Go Dynamo Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along, which is starting, I think, Thursday is the day that it comes out, I think. I'm not 100% sure about that. Either way, those are all of my plans. And I want to stitch some on all of the spooky stuff that I already have started. As I mentioned earlier, some of the things that I already have started. I want to get those out and play with them because it is spooky season and it makes my heart sing. I should stitch on it all year long, but I have to stitch, and I don't, but I should. But I have to stitch on it during spooky season. All right, let's get into stash. Did I mention I did the Halloween box? The Pumpkin Creek Primitive Spooky box? If she does another box that is spooky, get it if you like the spooky. This is Halloween of the spooky horror variety. It is not cute Halloween. So this is my type of Halloween, yes. Freddy Krueger bag. Not only is it Freddy Krueger bag, Freddy. And the background. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Okay, this is a bag by Lynn. She does a beautiful job. They're huge and lovely. And there's no faulting with the patterns here. And then this is everything that came with the kit. I think it's not everything. I think 1 or 2 things are not in here because they're blood splatter stitch thread drops, a bag. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Buffalo Bill's body lotion. That is so wrong, and I'm here for it. We received 2 fabrics. Devil's Claw by They Stitch Me, which is great. I'm using this on a different project. I don't remember which one right now, and it is a beautiful fabric. So fun. And the other one is Camp Crystal Lake. So good. So good. So good for spooky Halloween-y stuff. There are all of the DMCs for the projects. And there is some Devil's Claw silk from Bestitch Me. There are some Almond M&M silks. There were also stickers in there. They're coming out while I'm pulling things out. So we have Almond M&M silks with spooky names. So we've got Carrie Crystal Lake, Friday the 13th, Leatherface, and Children of the Corn. They are fun. We got a Spooky Freddy sticker. Just throwing everything on the ground. Spooky. I love those hands. And also the needle minder. The planchette moves. That's so fun. All right. Some washi tape. Oh, focus. There we go. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. I've made a huge mess down here, so let me take a few seconds. I have not shown you yet the two patterns. Three patterns. I said two. What am I talking about? The three patterns. We have Norman. We all go a little mad sometimes. And this was on the Devil's Claw. We have Where To? I love this one. It was also on the Devil's Claw, and I'm so tempted to start this one. So these are fictional places. It's a street signs. It's directions. It's look, 5 miles to Bob's house, 10 miles to the dark cabin. But these are fictional places, and it's mileage to them. And even before I read the back, when I looked at this pattern, I was like, oh, I am totally doing this, and I am putting the mileage from my house to those places. Now, some of these are fictional, so I have to kind of decide where I just want them to be in those cities, states, what have you. And then I read the back, and that's exactly what was done. That was exactly what was done and what was intended. So, great minds think alike. You can customize the miles to these fictitious places. We have Newt, Texas. It says, beware. So Newt, Texas, which is from Chainsaw Massacre. Crystal Lake, New Jersey, Friday the 13th. Haydon Field, Illinois, Halloween. Elm Street, Ohio, Nightmare on Elm Street. Castle Rock, Maine, Needful Things, and many more Stephen King books because he loves setting everything in Maine. I calculated my mileage from my home address to the state line. Bobby. So yeah, Bobby, I know you don't watch me. You don't know who I am. I already thought I was going to do the same thing. And then you said, hey, this is what I did. And I went, well, great minds. Again. Love it. Absolutely love it. Look at it. It's so good. And then the last one. Oh yeah, we've got Jason. It stopped again. Anyway, Camp Crystal Lake. Jeez, that's hard to say. So we've got Jason. I just love this one because it's Jason without just being Jason. There's a little more to it. Anyway, those are the three that came in the Pumpkin Creek Primitive Halloween box. Nightmare on Nightmare on Pumpkin Creek Lane was what the box was called. I am really glad that I got it, and I really hope she does another box. There were a couple more things, but I don't have them in here. I think there was a lotion and maybe a candle. I don't recall. But I loved it. It was really fun. Lots of fun things. And yeah, some patterns I'm going to enjoy at some point. Not sure when I'm going to start those, but again, I want to. Because spooky. I prefer spooky over cute when it comes to my Halloween. So, yeah. Oh, my tea's getting cold. And yet, it's still okay, a little chilly. My window is still open. It shouldn't be because it's cold. Oh, I didn't get everything back in there. Oh, one moment. Let me clean up a little. It's going to be a disaster enough with the way I was throwing everything, but I should at least get the things back in here. Yeah, I decided to store everything in here so that it was nice and easy because it's everything you need for each of the projects, and I might as well just do it that way. I'm really hoping there's enough floss drops for the colors because that'll make me really happy. What else have I received? Stash-wise. I received my Farmer's Daughter's Fiber Sock Squad for the month of October. It's a blue. It's very pretty. It's their Bighorn sock base, which is a merino nylon base in the colorway The Borrowers. But yeah, there we go. I've obviously fallen behind on doing these because they kept giving me the same colors and I ran out of steam. Sad, sad. But this is a lovely color and their bases are delicious. There's nothing wrong with the bases. I just got tired of the colors. That was all it is. And honestly, the other colors that they did that weren't all the peaches were blues. So there were only like 2 colors that they sent so far this entire year, it feels. Anyhow, enough said. I've whined about it before. I'm going to stop whining about it. The colors are pretty and the yarns are delicious. I just wanted more variation. But it is a pretty color. Because I was sick, I didn't get to go to Leavenworth with my partner and his parents. And he felt sorry for me. And so he brought me home yarn. Brought me home Embry fibers. It's hand-dyed in Wenatchee. And this is baby alpaca, sport weight. So, no clue what I'm going to do with those. But it's luscious and it's soft and it's going to be super, super drapey. So I'm thinking some sort of cowl might be nice. But this is a lot for a cowl. So I don't know. 2 more skeins of yarn. Because you know that's what I need. I also received my September fabric of the month for Bestitch Me in the colorway Frost. It's a good color. It's a purpley gray. I am going to miss getting these next year, but I have a lot of linens, and so I will not be receiving my Bestitch Me's next year. Finish out this year. They are pretty though. I'll just have to live vicariously through everybody else. And then my friends, I have some friends, and they did a big rock and hole trip, where you look at all the big rocks and holes that are on the western half of the United States. So, you know, you go to the Grand Canyon, and you go to Meteor Crater, and you go to Sedona, and you go to the Arches, and you go to Bryce Canyon, and you go to Yellowstone. You'll see all the big holes and rocks that are in the country, on the west side of the country. While they were there, they were on the Navajo Reservation. I used to live down in that area, and I miss a lot of that area. But they brought me back a cross-stitch piece, and it is a little tiny Navajo rug. It's very pretty. It has Aida cloth and threads to go with it. Clagato. It's very pretty. I love Navajo rugs. In another world, I would be rich enough to afford one. And if I were rich enough to afford one, I would afford one, and I would put it on the ground, and I would walk on a rug. Because you should use them, people. I mean, I wouldn't walk on the rug, but I would use the rug as was intended. I wouldn't just use it as an art piece. But that's just me. Anyhow, this is obviously an art piece, and the only way I will ever be able to afford a Navajo rug. Only way. I will probably not use the Aida cloth that's in here, as it looks like one of the ones that can stand up on its own. Let us find out if I am right. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! This, she's a stiffin. Yep. Stands up on its own. I won't use this, but you know what? What was I just commenting on? I have enough fabric. I have plenty of fabric. So the Clagato name comes from the Clagato Trading Post in a settlement 12 miles south of Ganado, Arizona, and means hidden springs. Rugs from this area resemble the Ganado in design and color. They have a central diamond motif with corner elements and a black border and are woven in colors of red, gray, black, and white. The Ganado typically uses a red background, whereas Clagato uses gray. The Clagato often has a more intricate pattern as well. Anyhow, I lived in that area for a long time when I was a child. It even has a needle. And it was made for me by Jim from Southwest Decoratives Coco Pele. Anyhow, feels like just DMC, but the colors are delicious. And yeah, I might have to start that one in the new year because it's very lovely. That is pretty much all of my stash as well. I know. I got lots. Let me organize a couple things here. So let's get on to life. As you can see, I'm feeling much, much better than the last time I filmed. I feel fantastic. I feel well. Everything is good. And, oh, I missed one thing. Stash-wise. I got the colors for A Drearier Day. I also, I'll just use the back, got the colors for the, not the mystery knitter, the stitch along that's being done by the Sunshine Stitchers. They put a bird on it, Sal, the Modern Folk Embroidery piece. Yeah, I'm going to start that with them. Not in December because I don't think I'm going to have any free spaces open, but I'm going to keep up with the stitch along once it's January. So I bought the colors for that because I liked the colors from the piece, and they are all Roxy Floss. So I've got my Drearier Day and my Put a Bird on It colorway. That was my last thing. Apologies. This is still just the extras for my Go-Go Dynamo West Knits that's starting. Anyhow, life. I'm feeling better. I'm doing all the things. I want to do all the things. I want to do more things that I can actually do because I do not have the arms or the time or the brain in order to do so. But I'm getting better. And as you can see, I'm a little scattered when it comes to my stitching, but I stitched on a lot of things, some of them a little, some of them a lot, and I'm going to be doing more of that because it makes me happy. One of the things I did in the past 2 weeks is I went to the 14th annual Northwest Tea Festival. What? There was a tea festival and I went. It was delightful. It was nice. I bought tea. I bought lots of tea. This was one of my teas that I purchased. And yeah, I didn't buy too much tea, but a few. It was fun. I tasted lots of different teas. There were some teas where I was like, I don't have the palate for that level of tea drinking, but I did definitely have the palate for several of them. I'm so happy. I enjoy a good tea, and there was a lot of good tea. Tried out lots of different tea places, heard about a lot more tea places in my local area, well, semi-local area that I might be able to get more teas from, so that was exciting, and yay, more places to buy tea? Yes, more places to buy loose leaf teas. Sign me up. I was a little surprised at how many people were there. I mean, I live in the Pacific Northwest, land of Starbucks and never-ending coffee, and I get tired of it. It's always coffee. Everywhere you go, coffee. So don't know why I didn't expect that a tea fest would have all the people that like tea. I mean, of course I had all the people that like tea, but there were a lot of them. There were a lot of people. There are a lot of us that like tea. There should be more of us, but regardless. I was very happy to be around people who like tea, and people making tea, and people brewing tea. It smelled delicious in the place that it was held. Oh, it smelled so good. So much tea everywhere. And there was another thing that was odd about the tea festival that you'd think I would have realized would have been a thing, but it was really humid. It was really, really humid in that room. No doubt. There were like 40 vendors, all making tea. Pots and pots and pots of tea. It's not just one flavor at each vendor. No, multiple flavors, multiple pots, which means lots and lots and lots of hot, steamy water. Yeah. Shocking. Absolutely shocking that it was so hot in the building. So humid. So very humid. I will know for next year. I will know for next year. For I will go next year. And I might have to make another rule. Much like my flock rule. I have to have drunk down the teas that I purchased before I'm allowed to buy more. Just like flock, I have to knit down the yarn that I purchased before I can buy more. I'm starting a hard cider. Right. Other than that, I kind of just have done normal life. We're already decorating for Halloween because, have I mentioned, it's October 1st? It's October. So yes, we are already getting all decorated. It's a beautiful sunny day today. It's nice and, it's not cold, but if you're inside, it's cool and maybe even a little chilly. And if you're outside, it's warm if you're in the sun, but if you're not in the sun, it's a little chilly. I love it. It's fall. It is fall. The leaves are just starting to change color in certain areas, but not everywhere. Everything outside my window is still all green and summery, but it's got that feel. It's got that feel. And the spiders definitely think it is fall, for they have populated my deck with great abandon and excessive nature of spiders. There are many. There are many. I'm not so okay with that. They're okay. They're outside. They have not broken the covenant. Still, there are a lot of spiders, so I have to be very careful walking out on the deck. I have to do the hand so you don't do the spider dance. You know, the spider dance when you walk into a spider. Anyhow. Enough. I should go, because that's pretty much all I've done. Nothing else. Very boring. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Went to work, did things. Life is fine. All is good. Getting healthier. Yeah. Decorating for Halloween. Planning all my sweaters to stitch, knit, whatever. To knit up. And figuring out what exactly I want to start and work on spooky season-wise. That'll be part of today, after I run some errands. When should I start An Unkindness of Ravens? Oh, I might have to do that next week. I really, really, really want to start that one. Anyhow, come back in 2 weeks and you will find out what I have started, what I have worked on. If I've given up and just started all the spooky things and said to heck with my 50 starts, I don't think so. I've made it this far. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to go over. But all the spooky things are calling. Until later, I will hope that all of you are doing okay. I hope that everyone who had to deal with the awfulness that was the storm down in the southeastern portion of the United States, I hope they are doing okay, as well as can be done after a disaster of that magnitude. But other than that, even with that, I hope you're okay. But other than that, I hope things are going better and that things will continue to be better. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. I will be here. It will still be September. It will still be, I almost said September. It will still be October. We will see if I have to come out with my crown, my tiara again or not. I don't know. It is kind of the October look. You think I should go run my errands looking like this with the tiara on? I'm going looking like this, but maybe not that. We'll see. It could be fun. Yeah. Walking around Target, the tiara on. Perhaps I will. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.